This is just a quick video for you guys so that you know why I haven't posted anything recently. I've been out bush for a little bit of a catch-up, practicing a few things in my good old Land Rover Parenti. Got a bit of a rough trip out of here. I thought you guys might be interested in it. We'll see how we go. I'm going to jump a bit further down the road here. Once I've changed out of low range, I'll get into the bumpy stuff. I should probably explain at this point, I'm departing my campsite. I'm taking the scenic route, as you might imagine, on the way out. And I have my handy dandy number 5 trailer attached on the back. And I'm in low range with my hand throttle set. So I should be able to just crawl my way out of here. I go a little bit contrary to normal convention in that I'm running pizza cutter tires. In that I mean that they're heavily treaded 7.5 inch wide tires that are reasonably tall. From a distance they give the impression of a pizza cutter. Not big, fat and wide like a lot of people are going these days. They are a pretty good all-rounder tire, with the exception to things like bottomless mud or sand, where you need a little bit more load spreading capability and a bit of flotation. But there's this old adage that you can make a skinny tire fat, but you can't make a fat tire skinny. Oh, I've got to go down a gear here. Not that I can't make it, it's just that I'll shake everything around in my trailer, and I don't want to break stuff. And my hobby is not breaking vehicles and things. My hobby is getting where I'm going. So we'll get here. And this, the stabilization on this camera might not make this look as rough as it really is, but these are about 1 foot high lumps. And there's some coming up that are about 1.5 feet. We'll go up a gear for those. I can tackle those front on. And it's always a bit of fun. After this little shortcut, the road gets back to sort of more road-like surface, and it's fairly boring. But I felt the need to share some of the bushcraft stuff that I do, which will get more, it'll get more prolific as time goes on. I did broach this in a previous YouTube video. I think where I was talking about my interest in electronics is born from an interest in survival. In today's modern world, you need a bunch of skills to survive. A lot of them are technological, computer and electronic skills, but the older skills, the bushcraft and the basic survival skills still apply too, and I like to keep them fresh as well. It's part of why I have a fairly basically built vehicle like this Land Rover. There's a lot less to go wrong and a lot of electronics that simply aren't there. There's a few mod cons missing, like air conditioning, soundproofing as you might have heard, and of course power steering. But there's no electronics really per se to go wrong. I can start this thing without a battery if I have to. And it's relatively easy to fix in the field, save for a couple of things like the shear axles, which we'll go into later. I do hope you guys are enjoying the bit of drive here. I know it's a bit of a step out of what my channel has become. There's a lot of stuff I couldn't show you this year because my summer job is actually fire spotting. And my new boss has instituted a new media policy that means I can't show you a lot of video from that job, but who knows, in the future when I'm not working for them, that media policy may or may not still apply to me. So it'll be interesting to see what I can get away with legally. And this is almost the end of this bit of video because I'm coming back to an intersection here, and I'm going to get back onto the higher speed roads. So we're nearly there. I thought this might be just an interesting break from your normal programming of this video system, of this channel. You can tell this is not scripted, of course. And by the looks of that log down up there, I may be taking an alternative route here and chainsawing some logs off the track. But that's alright, we'll take our way out here and we'll find our way out. The advantage of having military grade paint on here and canvas, although canvas rips. You know what, we'll hang on with this video just a minute or two more because there's a nice little incline coming up. It could be a bit of fun. Now this is probably about a 1 in 4 gradient. And this little hump here makes it about a 1 in 2 until we go back again. So up we go. Lots of torque in this Isuzu 4BD1 engine. This is the 4-wheel version, not the 6-wheel, so it's the naturally aspirated engine. I'm also in low range, so loads of torque. But now you don't buy a Land Rover because you want to get somewhere fast. Well, if you do, I guess you buy one of those modern Land Rovers that are indistinguishable from an SUV, I guess. Not a huge fan of them. I like my Defenders. So I think this is getting up to most of the rough stuff. Well, there's a little bit more to come. I'll tell you what, if you guys want to bail now, that's fine. I'm not going to be upset, but there's a little bit more fall driving to come. There's a little bit of a detour to be had here as well, because there's some junk that some people have stacked up in the middle of the road we have to avoid. I don't like going off track because then if people see the tracks, then they do that too, and it ends up just eventually screwing up all the vegetation and giving fool drivers everywhere a bad name when there's a small selection of them that do stupid stuff. There's a bit of a boggy patch here. You don't slow down or stop in that. And this again is probably about a 1 in 4 gradient, or 1 in 5 maybe. We'll just set the hand throttle and we'll wind our way up here. You know, people buy Tesla cars to get self-driving vehicles. Well, this has got a governed throttle on it, or a governed fuel pump. So once you've set the hand throttle, it will adjust the fuel flow more or less automatically. It's a set of little centrifugal weights and a spring. It's quite a simple affair. It's reminiscent of stationary engines with the governor on those, which is 2 centrifugally positioned round weights on a little assembly that pulls the it engages the ignition when it gets below a certain RPM. I think we're almost back to civilized roads. So yeah, in any case, I hope you enjoyed the little bit of bush bashing. We're not bashing many bushes, but you know, it's a nice leisurely drive. I think it's probably almost time for headlights now. It's getting on to dusk. We'll probably go our high beams now. But yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and we'll be back to some more electronically oriented stuff fairly soon. I've got a little bit more of this lumpy road to go. So here we go. Alright, we're down another steep incline. So look, I think you guys have probably had enough of this stuff. If you haven't, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of this sort of stuff. If you want to see some bushcraft things appear on my channel, let me know. I don't make money out of this, so I'm not really motivated to do it unless you guys just like it, you know. So yeah, I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. This is just an additional I know it's on top of what I've already done, but you recall earlier in the video I mentioned that I'd probably have to cut some logs off the track. Well, there's some people out here that take objection to four-wheel drivers, and this is the kind of thing they do. I'll chop down a whole tree to obstruct the track. Doesn't stop the motorbikes. And you know, talking about going off track and chewing out another track, well, this is what happens. I should point out I have a trailer on at the moment too, and I'm still doing this. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. Have a good one. Well, an extra addendum, guys. Lucas, Prince of Darkness, has struck again, and it is dark out here. No moon tonight. Well, I'll grab this and show you. I've had to make a quick rewiring and a chop here to diagnose what's happened with my driving lights. One of a tree branch struck the light bar a while ago, and it looks like it caused a cable scuff. So of course, when my vehicle is most messy, I had to pull all the wiring out of here to discover that I've been repeatedly blowing a fuse, and it came down to this dead relay right here. That being said, always carry spare fuses, guys. I've got a little 3D printed box here. It was in some unpopular pink ABS plastic, but I've got a few fuses of every value that I need. But yeah, hopefully I'll be back on the road soon. I think I've got this figured out. Well, this video is turning into a slightly longer one than I expected. I've got my handy dandy Aldi gas soldering iron on the go here. I've got a very messy joint I'm about to do, but it should do the job hopefully, and hopefully we'll get back on the road. Right, so moment of truth, guys. I've got a 20 amp fuse. I'm going to go in. I know that system runs off 20 before it has a fault, although this fuse has been running hot for a while, so I'll put a 30 in, but I've only got one 30 left, so I'm testing with a 20 first to see if it immediately blows. Alright, we're going to arm our headlights here and we're going to turn them all on. Alright, the fuse didn't immediately blow. I think we've got something right. Let's have a look outside. Alright, that is much better than the factory lights. That's factory Land Rover lights at high beam. Now we have my lights, much better. Alright, let's put the 30 amp fuse in and insulate some stuff, and hopefully we'll get home. Okay guys, two really important bits of kit to keep in here aside from fuses. Some quality insulation tape, Nitto is my recommended brand, and a quality tester screwdriver. You can find out nearly everything with a tester screwdriver, and for those of you who haven't seen these working, we'll demonstrate one now. If you have a complete circuit, the globe inside here lights up. That can tell you more than what a multimeter on continuity mode can tell you, because this actually presents a load. Very, very handy. I'm going to put the cover back on. This one lives under the seat, but can live in the battery bay. I've completely ripped all the wiring out of here in the field. I'm going to have a long day tomorrow ahead of me, putting everything back where it should be, neatening all this up, finding cable chafing. I think we worked out what the problem was, is that there was a chafed cable coming through the firewall, which is common with these Land Rovers. It's not one of the wires I've run. A lot of these were auxiliary circuits I've put in here, but because one of the main wire I'm picking up off is one of the Lucas fitted ones, it chafing caused a short on this circuit, so I've managed to fix that. So yeah, hopefully we can get going again. My 3G modem, which is on this switch, is actually been very, very handy. It's relayed my position back home, as has my spot tracker. So people know I'm here. I'm not stuck. I'm not out of action with the vehicle, but driving around here in this part of the world this time of night without decent lighting, I'm going to run into a kangaroo. And as much as I enjoy the 12mm thick steel box tube bull bar on here, you know, I've only got a fabric top, and some of these roos are like mooses on stilts. You know, they bounce around and you can end up with them through the windscreen. So better that I see them before they see me. So, all right, this is going to be a quickie video. It's turning into a long one, but you know, this stuff happens. The proverbial, I should call it. Anyway, let's get some gear packed up and get this thing started. See if I can get out of here. A quick little side note, normally under the seat I have a bunch of nappies and some wipes and a few other bits and bobs that I need for my apprentice when we're out. She stresses that I won't have any toys to play with when I go, so she generally hides a toy in something I take with me. In this case, this toy I think she refers to as a hamster. It's come with me this time, and there's been a few other things in my pockets of my clothes and stuff that she's hidden in there, so I think she'll be happy to see me. I'm probably about an hour away from home yet, but yeah, she'll be, I think, happy to see Hamster come home as well. So yeah. And I've got some cleaning up to do in this car. I've just pulled everything out and thrown it wherever, so my normal sense of organisation is up the creek. I'm not going to put the seat cover back on. It's been thrown over in the abyss that is the back, because I may need to get into this more easily again shortly. So yeah, I might just latch the bloody cover back on, but it's going to be noisy in here because of that. I do have this rubber matting I've installed, so I've got some noise cancellation for the trip home, and Hamster is going to sit side saddle with me. Alright, let's hope I've got some lights. So the other thing I'm going to do is a quick walk around before I leave and make sure lights and stuff are all working, and on the trailer, number plate lights working. I haven't got any flat tires, nothing I didn't miss, and I can see I've got a dirty tail light there. It's very dim compared to the other one. I'm not sure what that indicates, but it is working for now, so I'm going to live with it. But that could be a source of a fault. At least my parkers are working. That's all good. I've just checked my hazards. So, alright, we might be right to go. So let's get into this dirty, messy vehicle and make our way home. Alright, well, we're running. We're about to take off. That would be my spot tracker reporting in. That's good. Alright, let's see if these work. Where's my switch? Alright. I'll give it a couple of minutes and see if it burns out. I'm hoping I found the problem. I think it was just that one chafed wire. I'm hoping, but you know, this is a Land Rover and Lucas wired it, so it could just happen somewhere else again in another 5 minutes. But this makes dodging the roos on the way home about 100 times easier. You know, the only other option if my main lights went was to go to blackout lights, and according to roadworthy regulations I had to disable those, but in a pinch I could turn them back on again, but they're worse again. I'd be creeping my way home in about 10 clicks. Alright, I'll do a quick little update if I make it home, and hopefully this will be the last of this video. Alright, well, we made it to the blacktop. I've just got the high beams down for the moment while we wait for a vehicle with HID lamps, those annoying things, waiting for him to come past. And because my top speed's only about 80 clicks, this is a 100 click highway. I don't really want to be behind this or in front of this person. Alright, back on the blacktop. Standard Rover lights. I'll wait till they're over the hill a bit before I do high beams. Alrighty, on the way home. Alright, so she's about 40 clicks from home. We'll be there soon enough. Well, the lights work well, but you can tell that I've taken some of the soundproofing off the seat. This thing, when everything's at full tilt, it's like re-entering the atmosphere in the Challenger space shuttle. Just a bit noisy. But we're nearly home. We'll make it. Now, I'm not sure how well this Steadicam gimbal is going to hold it, but we can have a look at the trailer out the back here and show you what I've been towing all this way. Good old gerbils riding side saddle. Or hamster, sorry. Little pink hamster. Be home to see my apprentice soon enough. Very nearly home. It's a couple of street lights. That'll be good. Gotta go and find myself some food. We're back in civilization at last. Alright, now I need to forage myself some local supplies. Now, I've heard these rumours that where you see some golden arches, you can often purchase food. Sometimes if you're good enough, you'll get it for nothing, but that's not us today. I'm pretty sure hamster's a little bit hungry too, so might get them both a feed. Alrighty, time for some locally foraged food. Hey, can I start, can I get a large double quarter pounder meal, thanks? Bottle of water, thanks. And can I get 3 Happy Meal toys on their own, thanks? Yeah, that's all, thanks. Catch up. Right. Here you go. Yep. Yes, just the toys, yeah. Cool, thank you. No, they're quick today. Cool, thank you. Alright, time to pull up and have a feed. It's pretty quiet tonight. It's a parking bay up here. I'm going to pull up and have a feed right here. Well, hamster's all buckled up. They're all buckled up, ready to go, guarding me macas. So I think it's time we went home, and I've got some bribery for the apprentice for leaving her behind as well. I think she'll be a bit raw at me, or maybe happy, we'll find out. Anyway, I think I'm going to eat this when I get home. Alright, because I'm like 2 k's from home, so let's go do that. Oh, that is so much better. I hear the pitter patter of apprentice feet in the house, but we made it home, guys. We made it home. And best to shut down my sat tracker while I'm at it. Do fancy light patterns, cool. Alright, time to shut everything down and go inside and not think about all the rewiring I have to do tomorrow. And you know what, hamster? I'm pretty sure I know somebody that wants to see you too, so come on, hamster, let's go. And you know what, hamster? Say goodbye to people. See you next time.